We're trying to solve this equation. Negative 12 equals negative 3/5 W. Now, a couple things you want to remember when you're solving equations. Our goal is to get the variable by itself. That's this W. So somehow we're going to need to get rid of this negative 3/5. Well, you need to remember whenever you see a number that's right next to a letter, that means multiply in there. They won't put a symbol in there. You've got to remember that that's there. The other thing that we need to remember about equations is when you're trying to get rid of something, you do the opposite of it. And whatever you do on one side of the equation, you have to do the same thing on the other. And the dividing line is that equal sign. So we mark that off there. Okay, so this multiply is for negative 3/5 times W. If we need to get rid of negative 3/5, we need to do the opposite, which means we need to divide. Well, when you divide, we're dividing fractions. This really is what we're doing. We're dividing both sides by negative 3/5. But you need to remember, what do you do when you divide fractions? Well, dividing fractions, you always have to multiply by the reciprocal. So what you can do is jump ahead, and instead of saying, okay, we're dividing by negative 3/5 and then have to rewrite it, is at the beginning just say, well, let's multiply by the reciprocal of negative 3/5, which is negative 5/3. Whatever you do on one side, we have to do on the other. Okay, and we're going to erase this now, because what we did in blue is the same as what we would have done in green. It just would have taken us an extra step to get there. So we're back to multiplying here. We did that because over on this side you can see the 3's cancel, the 5's cancel, and all we have left is W. That's what we want. Now we just have to multiply over here. So you do have to remember this was a multiplication that we were doing. So we'll put a 1 under that negative 12. We can cross cancel the 3 and the negative 12. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into negative 12 4 times. We'll keep that negative there so we remember it. Alright, so now we're multiplying negative 5 times negative 4. That is positive 20. 1 times 1 is 1, so it's just 20 equals our W. Okay, so that's what you do when you see that fraction multiplied by a variable. You just need to multiply by the reciprocal. It'll get rid of your fraction so that you have W by itself.